Okay, so Chip leaves. He goes to drive for the Atlas, and
Yep.
I know what happened from there. He just went up and up and up. Became, in my
Yep.
opinion, greatest driver ever. So you transitioned to Deeth,
Yeah.
and tell us the story again about Bernie and his
Well,
thoughts.
when Deeth did come to work for us, I think it was Chip and Tom Deeth were very, always with the owners, very conscious of the rule book. And when they were violated by the rule book, they didn't like it. And I always stood beside either Tom or Chip to go in and fight for what they. I remember being with Chip down in Florida, in Miami, and they have a race site out there. But they had a long road, and it wasn't very clear if they had to get emergency equipment in there. And Chip said, I'm not going to race for that. And I went to the owners, and I laid hell into Bernie, and because Bernie and a guy named the plumber was the guy handling the race site. And that's the same thing I did for Tom or for Chip. And so and Tom was the same way with the owners. And Bernie made it known to me that there was word out that Tom Deeth was probably going to be hired at the time we did it, of hiring him into the sport again. And Bernie and other people came to me and kind of just said, he's not welcome. And my answer back to Bernie was that anytime he wanted to pick a driver, he had all the right in the world. He never would have any discussion with me. He would follow the rules. Any driver would follow the rules of everybody else. But I did inform him that he can pick his driver or drivers over time. And don't tell me how to pick my drivers, of who I can or cannot bring into a seat. If the driver can't qualify for the race course, that will be determined by the referees. But I'm bringing in a guy that had Gold Cup experience and had a lot of other experience, and I don't think he could sit in that seat and know how to take a boat around very safely for me and for our company. And so he was hired, contrary to referees' opinion that said they might not qualify him and everything else. I said, you don't qualify him, you'll find out you're going to qualify him. And Tom Deeth would be the first one in his mouth that would be opened in his face. And but Tom did get the job. Tom was with us. He was very loyal to us. The people loved him in the company, and he was a good representative out there for us. But the final end story was there with all the people that were doing the complaining, Bernie and other people that hired him, and he made Gold Cups for him, took him away from us. So, but Tom even came back later, and Tom was always loyal to us, no matter where he worked for us or not. And one time, I think it was in Seattle when Bernie won, that Tom came down as he had won the race, and I happened to be standing at the end of the dock and said, I would have hoped that I could have done the same thing for you. And to me, that's a very loyal individual.
Perfect.